Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks, and this is the Tech Travel Geeks unboxing video for the POCO M3 Pro 5G. This is a device that Xiaomi have provided us for review purposes, and we'll be putting it through its paces and doing some comparisons between this device and other ones in its price range. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks and have that bell notification on to be ensured that you have the notifications of when we release new videos. Right then, so POCO. I've been a fan of POCO smartphones since the original POCO or POCOphone F1, the smartphone which was the first of its brand and then led to the ultimate spin-out of the POCO brand. And this is the M3 Pro. Those of you who have been subscribed to the Tech Travel Geeks for a while know that the POCO M3 is an affordable smartphone from 2020, which we unboxed and provided some first impressions of. And we'll be sure to do a follow-up video for the comparison with this device. But let's see what's in the box. So we have a POCO logo at the forefront and a box that contains something. Let's see what's in here. So if I open this up, it's quite difficult to do it. So we've got a SIM ejector tool, as we would expect, very handy for getting your device in. This particular POCO M3 Pro has a series of POCO stickers, some little ones, some bigger ones, and everything you need, nothing that you don't. Now that's a very interesting new motto for POCO. Let's see what else is in this section. So we have the quick start guide in multiple languages, quite small print, but it's all there. We have some safety information, a booklet I'm sure we will read at some point, and a warranty card. And more importantly, we have a transparent TPU case for the device itself. So I'm going to put this aside and keep the case out, and let's pull the phone out. So I'll put this aside and focus on the other contents of the box. So we have a charger here, and this is very reminiscent of the charger setup for the Redmi Note 10 5G that we recently unboxed and set up here on Tech Travel Geeks. So it's a Xiaomi European plug charger. This is a review device from Xiaomi, but if you're in the UK or any other market, such as ones where you use different chargers, you'll get the appropriate one. But let's have a look at the details of this power adapter. So this is a Xiaomi power adapter which outputs at 5 volt at 3 amp, that's 15 watts, or 9 volts at 2.23 amps, which is around about 18 watts, and then, or 20 watts, and then 12 volt at 1.67 amps, which is again 20 watts, and 10 volts at 2.25 amps, which is 22.5 watt charger. So lots of different options here, and as well as that we get the cable. In this case it is USB Type A, so traditional USB A on one side and USB Type C on the other. So good to see that Type C is now a standard even in the affordable smartphone range. I'll put all this aside and let's focus on the device itself. So this is the POCO M3 Pro 5G. Now, shouting out about specifications is quite common for Xiaomi devices, as we've seen over the years. In this case, the POCO M3 Pro 5G has a MediaTek Dimensity 700 chipset. This is pretty much the same as what we saw on the Redmi Note 10 5G that we recently unboxed and set up for Tech Travel Geeks. It has a 90Hz 6.5 inch Full HD Plus display, a 5000 mAh battery, and a 48 megapixel AI triple camera. So really powerful set of specifications for a device which will retail for around about £200 sterling, depending on the particular model you get. So that's going to be around about 200 euros and around about $200. It all evens out here. So what I'm going to do is take this plastic cover off and we'll have a quick walkthrough of the actual hardware. Now the device Xiaomi provided us with is called Power Black, and I would say this is not really very black, it's very reflective. So you've got a plasticky glass finish at the back. So this does feel like plastic, it's not glass, but it definitely has the looks of glass, as well as the fingerprint magnet feature of them. And in a way, this reminds me of the back of the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G, which is still one of my most used smartphones at the moment. So really strong material here in terms of it really shouts out about being a new smartphone with a different industrial design. And at the top we have a traditional sort of almost pillbox rectangular camera module housing the 3 cameras. In this case, a main 48 megapixel sensor, a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. But around that we have a bit of a encasing for that pillbox with the POCO branding, shouting out about the brand. So you see that POCO, designed by POCO. And there's a 5G logo on the side here. So rather than the horizontal POCO we saw in the original M3, the POCO M3 Pro 5G has a horizontal one, which also hints at the fact that you're more likely to see someone using the camera on this one. We'll need to put the camera on this device through its paces to see how it compares to the original POCO M3 as well. So on the right hand side we have a fingerprint scanner power button. This is very similar to a lot of the solutions that we've seen from Xiaomi recently. Volume rocker up and down. At the top of the device we have a courage port, that's a 3.5mm audio jack, infrared blaster, microphone for audio, and at the bottom we have again microphone hole, USB Type-C for charging and for data, and a speaker grill. And the SIM tray is over on the left hand side. So what I'm going to do is let's take a peek and find out what sort of SIM tray the POCO M3 5G Pro or Pro 5G has in it. So this tray in this case is a hybrid one. It takes 1 nano SIM and a micro SD card, or 2 nano SIMs. Sadly, no options for 2 SIMs and micro SD. So it's a bit of a trade-off there, but in the configuration of the device that Xiaomi have sent us, this has 128 gigabytes of storage, so you might not need to use micro SD to expand it. And in the case of the 128 gigabyte model, this does have 6 gigabytes of RAM, so plenty. If you're interested, let us know in the comments. We can also do a side-by-side comparison between this POCO M3 Pro 5G and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 5G, which seem to be on paper very, very similar. And at the top here we have a selfie camera. In this case it's an 8 megapixel selfie camera capable of recording full HD video. And we'll just have a quick look at that screen. So it's POCO logo powered by Android. This display is an LCD display, it's not AMOLED, it's not OLED. It's a 6.5 inch screen in diagonal, which doesn't make it a bulky smartphone by today's standards. And it's 1080 or 1080 pixels by 2400 pixels. So it's full HD plus at 90 Hz, which should give a smooth experience, but more importantly, if you're streaming or watching videos or content, you'll be able to do that at full high definition quality and really enjoy the quality of the picture. And in terms of LCD backlighting, I'm not seeing any particular issues around the edges in terms of backlighting. It seems to be pretty decent. And as you can see here, it's MIUI 12, that's the Xiaomi Android distribution that's running on this device at launch. And specifically, here we're talking about Android 11, I believe, and MIUI 12 on top of that. So it's a relatively recent version of Android, definitely until the end of this summer when Android 12 will be released officially. and it's MIUI 12 on top of that. But we're going to be doing a separate video on the setup of MIUI 12 on the POCO M3 Pro 5G. We'll also be doing a separate video on comparisons. If there's anything in particular you want to know, leave us a comment in the section below, and we'll be sure to try and include it in our upcoming videos, or to answer your questions there. One thing to point out is the POCO M3 Pro, as it came out of the box, as you just saw, has a screen protector on it, which is great to see. So I'm going to switch this off for now, maybe give you a bit more contrast to see that there is a screen protector on the screen, which is always great. It saves you having to put it on yourself, or more importantly, scratching your phone before your screen protector and case arrive. The same with the case. It's nice to have a silicone case to go on it whilst you're waiting for your MOCO dial to arrive for the device. And as you can see, it's quite a tight fitting case. I'm going to probably take that off and wipe the phone again to avoid the fingerprints staying on it. But it does keep that POCO logo loud at the front there. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. As I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But for now, thank you for watching, and speak to you soon.